darkness world stops turning. Ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment God is calling. On the knees the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.
rumors spreading round United Texas town about the shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. I'm racing. Well, here it's fine if you got the time and the chance to get yourself in. And here is time
was a great chorus from AC/DC, simply saying, I've got 9 lives, cat's eyes, abusing every one of them and running wild. Chosen well, I think, for Grunt today. Possibly that was Grunt in his younger days. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here this afternoon to remember and celebrate the life of Geoffrey Cleaver, affectionately known as Grunt, or simply Jeff, a son, brother, father, grandfather, mate, mechanic, artist, and all-round good bloke. On behalf of his children, James and Jess, I welcome you and thank you for being here with him this afternoon to celebrate the life of this colourful character. I also welcome family and friends who are viewing online as they were unable to join us here in the chapel. At the conclusion of our time together this afternoon, you are warmly invited to continue sharing your memories of Grunt at the Wharf Hotel in Wynyard, better known as the Bottom Pub, from 3 p.m. So as we stand together with his ashes here before us, surrounded by family and friends from every chapter of his life, we honour the man who can teach himself almost anything, who could make a shed like a cosy home, and whose need for speed was matched only by his quiet love of nature. This is a time to remember him, to share stories, and to say goodbye in a way that reflects his life. Jeff was born on the 26th of November 1955 in Burnie to Bill and Peggy Cleaver. He was the middle child of 3, sandwiched between his big brother Neville and his younger sister Annette. From the age of 1, Jeff was quite literally brought up in and around gravel pits and forestry, where his father was carting out of quarries in his bulldozer and his trucks. The family lived in a caravan in the gravel pit. They travelled to wherever their father was working. They would set up camp there until his work moved elsewhere. This was the start of Jeff's love of trucks and his love of the outdoors and camping. When he was 7, his sister Annette joined the family. Settling into a home on the Murchison Highway at Somerset, life in the Cleaver household was busy, practical, and down to earth. His dad, Bill, was a well-respected man in the community for his trucking business, carting gravel, and from Bill, Jeff inherited not only a love of engines, but also a natural curiosity and an instinct to get stuck in and do things himself. He went to school at Yolla, but left at the age of 15, ready to work with his hands. Reading, writing and arithmetic were never really his thing. What he had was an inquisitive mind and an intuitive skill for motors and mechanics. From a young age, he learnt to drive, and he soon found jobs with local employees who knew the Cleaver name and trusted that Jeff would be as capable and dependable as his father. Jeff's work really centred around his love of mechanics. Starting at Roger Jacobs Accessories, he learned about all types of spare parts for motors. This was followed by a short time at the pulp and then later to Northrop's as a heavy rigid driver. Later, working for Wellers as a machine operator and again a heavy rigid driver, he hauled logs on his favourite truck, the Mac R series. Whatever Jeff put his hand to, he taught himself. His reputation in the trucking world and in anything to do with engines grew steadily. Some time was also spent as a driver for Pacific Waste. As he headed to semi-retirement, he spent countless hours in Andy Morris's workshop, not only enjoying the work, learning by watching and listening, but revelling in Andy's friendship and wisdom. As a young man, he spent a lot of time with Neville and his mates, a big group of friends bound by the same love of trucks and bikes. He was a bit of a wild child with a real need for speed. He loved motorbikes, speedboats, four-wheelers, anything with an engine and a throttle. He and his mates raced bikes on the beach, and some of the trophies are here today. They come from those races. He wasn't afraid of blowing up a bike or two, but he was a very good rider, maybe a bit of a maniac, but he was always skilled and daring. He worked for the bike barn in Wynyard for a while as a mechanic and partsman. He took his kids on the rite of passage adventure, which was lifting James and Jeff up onto a 200-tonne excavator and letting them drive it, just as his dad had done for him. That's how he passed his passion on, by letting you get behind the wheel, feel the power, and take the risk. Over the years, Jeff had countless cars and bikes. He was a Ford man at heart, but secretly loved the old Holdens too, and one of his prized possessions was a panel van with a black carpet interior. Every year he went to Baskerville to see the old cars and motorbikes, and he even took his own car for a circuit of Symonds Plain, of course flat out, true to form. But there was always another side to Jeff. Alongside the roar of engines was a calm man who loved the bush, camping, and the quiet company of birds and animals. He was an animal whisperer. He could reach out and touch creatures that others couldn't. His shed was his domain, a place not just for work but for comfort, creativity, and companionship. There he would draw exquisitely detailed cars in pencils, and he also welded bikes together into something new. He fixed fridges on ferries and played in 8-ball tournaments with his mates. He was self-taught in everything, inventive and crafty, and he loved a good stir, never with malice, never raising his voice. Jeff married Annette and became the proud father of James and Jess. His greatest pride later in life was becoming a grandfather. He adored his grandchildren and wanted nothing more than to see them grow old. Family for Jeff was never just blood. It was the mates and mentors from every chapter of his life. The older guys he learned from, the friends who came back to him when his health deteriorated. And life threw plenty at him. In 2010, he suffered a series of heart attacks and had a triple bypass, spending time with his mum Peggy while he recovered. She doted on him, and he loved her very much. Yet, through it all, he bounced back like that cat with 9 lives. He enjoyed probably another 10 really good years, happy years after these heart issues, filled with the things and the people he loved. This year, he faced a leg amputation, calling it his throttle leg, and joking that the prosthetic needed a tune-up. Then came the aneurysm diagnosis and another heart surgery and the risk of falls and the knowledge that his time might be short. He faced all these challenges with positivity and determination. Living for 12 weeks with Jess, Jim, Callie and Lincoln gave him an understanding of all the reasons he really wanted to live. Jeff didn't want to die. He loved life, his kids, his grandchildren and his friends. He loved to learn, to tinker, to try, and to teach. What he leaves us with is a legacy of curiosity, courage, and love. He shows us to listen, to learn, to take risks, to live life to the full, and to cherish our children and grandchildren. He shows us that family can be found in many places, in the shed, on the beach, on the road, in a circle of mates around a fire. Geoffrey Grunt Cleaver was a colourful character, a man of speed and a man of stillness, a man who could build and fix almost anything, and who, in his quiet way, built a network of loyalty and affection around him. As we say goodbye today, we can picture him on the beach at full throttle or sitting under a gum tree listening to the birds. We can hold on to the lessons he taught simply by how he lived. Be hands-on, be brave, have a go, have a laugh, and never forget the people you love. We will miss him, we will remember him. And in engines revving, in gum leaves burning, in the laughter of his friends, he is still with us. His kids, James and Jess, would both like to pay tribute to their dad, and I invite them to come forward.
What I've got to share with everyone today is a note that I wrote to Dad to go with him for his cremation, basically a final goodbye. And what I've written is, "Dear Dad, I hope this letter finds you well. 33 years with you, mate, and it's such a strange feeling sitting here pondering over so many amazing memories and writing a final goodbye. Although I know you'll be with me in my heart for eternity." It's funny, you know, as blokes, we're strong, we're manly, we never hug, we never say we love one another in those exact words. Of course we did. And I really hope that wherever you are, that you know that I love you, Dad. And that even though you're gone, hopefully to a better place in the bush, on a river, peaceful, probably with a can in a hand, halfway through cooking a stew, that I will never use loved in the past tense. Because even though you're no longer here physically with me, I'll always still love you just the same. We had so many great memories over the years, and of course some rougher times as well, but the rougher times are gone now. I want to raise my son to know the stories of the great side of you, of his granddad. Sadly, he will not grow to remember meeting you, but he will still love you just the same in his heart. And I really hope that he inherits your great sense of humour. I have so many memories and lessons to thank you for over my life. But the biggest thing I feel I owe you thanks for is the love and appreciation for camping in the outdoors, because that picture is far bigger again. Through that love of camping and outdoors, you gave me peace, you gave me a safe place where I could always find the light when things were dark. I'm so grateful to now be able to pass that down to Sebastian, the next generation. I can't wait to show him the family time, free and peaceful in nature. We had so many great trips over the years, and I'm looking forward to the one day revisiting those spots just to sit, take it in and reminisce. I miss you, Dad, and there's no dancing around that. Losing you has left a void which can never be filled. Sorry, need a minute. But I'll always carry you in my heart. I don't know what happens when we're gone. I don't know if you can watch over me. I just hope that if you are, that you're proud. And if you are, please watch over Sebastian as he grows and navigates through the bends of this windy road called life. I know it's a long way away, but I know that we'll meet again. I'll miss you greatly until then. It will become easier over time, but I will still miss you every day. And by the way, when we do meet again, it's your shout. I love you with all my heart, Dad. James.
When I was about 8 years old, I remember walking into the shed one day. Dad was down the back welding something. All I could see was sparks flying, and Dad looked like he had fire coming out of his hands. In this moment, I thought to myself, yep, he's magic. I had suspected this all along, and for the next couple of years, no one could convince me otherwise. If anyone tried to, I was willing to fight about it. I always idolised my dad, and to his surprise, we had a lot in common. I never had to explain things to Dad because he understood me. Although we butted heads sometimes, I always knew that he was pleased that I'd stood my ground. One of my favourite memories was working on my motorbike with Dad. When it was finished, I told him I'd take it for a test run. He said to me, just be careful because it's going to be pretty snappy. So I did exactly what he would have done. I flew past him full noise in 6th gear. Dad never told me off. He just said to me that afternoon, maybe you are like me. I was very lucky to have a dad that always stood by me, even when I'd done the wrong thing. I'd never experienced that type of loyalty, and I'd never trusted someone as wholeheartedly as my dad. I learned a lot just from being around him. And over the last 6 years, it was really beautiful to see Dad become a grandparent. My daughter took a while to bond with Dad, but he won her over in the end because they both loved a good stir. My son Lincoln had a very special relationship with Dad because they are so much alike. Dad faced so many battles over the last 12 months, and it was an honour for me to face them with him. He was always in my corner, and I was so pleased to show him the same loyalty in return. I really admired his grit and determination throughout his health battles. It was a rough journey, but Dad kept a smile on his face right up until the very end. I find peace in knowing that he's no longer in pain, and I'll continue to honour him with every camping trip, every cold beer, and every quiet moment by the river. Rest peacefully, Dad. You're always in my heart.
Well done, Jess and James. What an incredible bond you both had with your dad, and such special memories that you're going to cherish. We're going to see some of those memories now by seeing a set of photographs that the kids have put together. They've supported these photographs with one of Grunt's favourite songs, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
So you think you could tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Did you exchange a walk-on part in the war
So much love for you all and so many beautiful memories. In the roar of a motor, in the spray of the sand, the thrum of a speedboat or bike underhand, Jeff was there, alive and free, chasing the horizon, wild as the sea. But in the hush of the bush, in the call of a bird, the light rush of wind so often heard, Jeff was there, gentle and still, a quiet soul with a curious will. We'll hear him in engines, in wind through the trees, in laughter, in friendship, and in memories. So today we've remembered Jeff's life and celebrated all that he meant to each of us. His story isn't finished. It lives on in his children, James and Jess, his grandchildren, Sebastian, Callie and Lincoln, his family, his mates, and it lives on in everyone who learnt something from him. Jeffrey Grunt Cleaver, son, brother, grandfather, mate, we honour your life, your gifts, your grit and your gentleness. We commit these ashes to their resting place, and we commit Jeff to our memories and our hearts. May your need, Jeff, for speed carry you on, and your love of quiet places guide you home. As we leave, may we carry his lessons with us, to have a go, to learn, to risk, to love, to listen. Put simply, live life to its fullest. Go now and share your stories at the bottom pub. Keep Grunt front and centre and laugh loudly. Would you all please